You're not the most boring guy. You're always city to city, town to town. Now, if someone asks you when the last time you've been out of town, they really shouldn't even ask you that because you're always out of town working and taking care of business.
Absolutely.
And you brought someone phenomenal with you today, Miss Demetria McKinney. How are you?
I'm well. How are you?
Now, let me ask you, how did you connect up with this guy?
You know, God has a plan for us all, you see, and sometimes you don't understand how the things work. No. I've been a fan of his work for a really long time, and we've almost worked together on a couple of different occasions, but on this one, I believe, and I'd like to believe, that he handpicked everybody that he wanted to play in each of these roles for this iconic piece that he is putting up. So he gave me a call. He said, you know, we're doing Set It Off live. We'd like for you to be a part of it. And I was like, wait, now? How are you going to do that? How, Sway? You know, but he has really, really come through, pushed through, as he always does, and you all will not be disappointed.
And let me ask you this before I get back to the cars. What is your role in the play?
I am playing TT, so I'm super emotional. I'm a little bit aloof at times, but you know, one of the things that I discovered in doing this that I didn't realize in watching the actual film was just what parts of the body each of these women represent. Stoney represents the heart. You know, Vivica's character, played by LaToya Luckett, Frankie, represents the brain. Cleo, played by the brat, represents that strength in the body. And TT, to me, is kind of the innocence in the soul. So everybody works together really, really nicely to make this piece come alive.
And let me ask you this. What actually made you want to put this thing together to set it off?
Well, one, it's one of the most, iconic films in our community. Right? It's definitely an. But secondly, I felt that the piece was timeless because with everything that was happening today as it pertains to police officers and people and, you know, killing of innocent kids and so forth, I mean, that was the impetus of Set It Off. You know, Stoney's little brother gets shot and killed.
Right.
And he's innocent, and so they're put against the wall, and we end up going on this journey with them. So what's happening is the piece became an opportunity to create some healing across the country at the same time, and some conversation and collaboration going on between our communities and our police officers and law enforcement. And so that's really what's happening. When people are seeing the show, not only are they being entertained, because it's extremely entertaining, it's funny, it's a lot of magic and great drama and suspense and action on the stage, but when you get to the end, you're walking away with something on your mind. And I just want to tell everybody, you got to see it. You got to see it to believe it. It's kind of indescribable because most people put a lot of pressure on me when I announced it. The pressure was, you know, this is my favorite movie. You know, you basically don't mess it up. And the other one was, this is my favorite movie. He's going to mess it up. Why would you do that? Just leave it alone. Let a classic stay a classic. And I felt that movie was great, but there was another voice and another life that it had on the stage. And I think not only have you captured everything you knew and loved about the movie, but we're giving you some new, fresh stuff. And honestly, we've gotten some reviews that have said that the play, in some respects, is better than the movie, and that is hard because that is one of my favorite movies. And I never intended for it to be better. I just wanted to measure up to what it was. And the fact that the people are coming back and saying, not only have we measured up, but we've, in some cases, exceeded beyond it. It's a blessing. It's a godsend, you know, to have that kind of review.
Once again, in studio with Jacarius Johnson and Demetria McKinney, one of the actors in the play, Set It Off, coming to Houston. Let me ask you this now. I've always known this about you. You do a play, you do production, you go back into the rabbit hole. But once you come back out of the rabbit hole, you come out with a monster.
Yeah.
That's one thing. We've been doing these interviews for quite a few years now. And when you think about it, you always have to try to do better than you did the last one because, you know, you eat pressure for breakfast. I know you. It's what you do.
Yes.
Just like with me, you eat pressure for breakfast. And it seems like you make it easy. I don't know. I don't think it's easy, but by you being the guy that you are, it seems like you strive for that pressure. You don't mind that being on you. Talk about that.
Well, I don't think I have any competition except myself. Like at the end of the day, there's no person on this planet that I strive to be better in this business except me. So every time I go back into the lab, yes, I've done so many of them that it's like, how can I be different when I feel like I've done such an infinite number of shows and styles I've written comedies, I've written dramas, I've written suspense, I've written every single thing, and I'm like, well, how can I be better? Because there's an expectation, particularly when I come home, that excellence is a requirement. It's a prerequisite of my existence, in this city.
Right.
So yeah, I definitely go back in the lab and try to cook up what's the next best thing, but I also try to find the void. Like, what are we missing as a people? What's my message? Before I get to writing anything, I'm trying to understand what is the message of the piece and why is that message important to us? Because I need to feed your soul with something. Because if you don't connect, then you walk away empty. And I can't let you walk away empty. I got to fill you up with at least some nuggets or some revelation about life.
Right.
That can make things better while entertaining you and keeping you laughing so
Right.
you can escape from life at the same time. And then be inspired that whatever you want to do, no matter where you come from, that you can accomplish it and you can become whoever you see yourself. It's just a matter of sometimes changing the mirror, because sometimes we're looking in foggy mirrors and not looking clearly at who we want to be, and so we lose our direction. But if I can dust that mirror off and
Right.
wipe that Windex that thing down, and you see all the potential that lie in you, then you become better than me. And that's what I look to be an example, to discover the person that's better than me. Because if you're better than me, I'm not going to be your competition. I'm looking to grab you, sir, and give you the platform where I am, so that you can take it to things that are far beyond I'm able to reach in my lifetime. And I'm looking for every single person out there that's better than me to take that mantle. I'm going to do what I'm supposed to do in my time.
Right.
But I welcome the person who says, I can do it, and I believe I'm better than you. I will encourage that thought process. Put you to the test. And if you come out clean on the other side, I'm helping your career all the way to the finish line.
Wow, words of a winner. I told you, man, welcome to the winner's circle, by the way. Demetria McKinney, let me ask you this. How has the response been for you as far as with the interaction with the audience and things of that nature?
Oh my goodness.
It's one thing for Jakari to say his thing, but from an actor's point of view.
As somebody who started out in the circuit, in this stage play mode, I've been able to do a good bit of work. I've transcended into television. I've gone into some movies and stuff. So coming back home to theater has always been something that I wanted to do, but I wanted to do it on a different level, okay? He's bringing this play in particular with in my mind, I think he's thinking like, oh, we got to get some Tony nods with this thing. You know what I'm saying? Like, he's transcending what we think of when we think of this type of stage play. Now, coming in and seeing the audience reaction versus what our reactions were to it, first off, when I read the script, I was like, oh my God, okay, he got it. He got it, but how is he going to make it happen? How is he going to bring all of that onto one stage for this amount of time? When we got there the first night, I ain't going to lie, oh,
That's a hit scratch.
I approached the thing with fear and trembling, because it's like, we put this thing up in 10 days. There was not a whole lot of time, so he really trusted us. He really trusted his crew. He trusted his own process, and then we had to execute it. Now, when we got up there and the audience fell in love, when the audience got mad, and especially there were some moments that we didn't really expect, when the audience started shouting back, like, when you're in that real good part of your favorite movie, like a Set It Off, I don't know, and you yelling at don't do it!
Oh,
Let it go!
I've done that. I've done that.
Like, listen, they were doing that to us in all of these integral moments that we didn't really expect them to be so very involved. Now, the fact that we were able to evoke those emotions in people, the fact that they really went on the journey with us and had the adventure and felt tired when they left, that spoke volumes to what we did.
So prior to this, you said television. So what other things have you done on the screen so folks can remember?
Oh, Lord. I'm currently on a show called Saints and Sinners on Bounce TV, which is going on its 3rd season.
Okay.
I'm a regular on a show called Superstition on Sci-Fi opposite Mario Van Peebles.
Okay.
I've done Chicago Med. I've done House of Pain. Like, I got a
She
little
just
bit of
played-
work.
You got a bad resume. She got
just played Whitney Houston.
Oh,
Really?
yeah, the Bobby
Bobby
Christina biopic.
Yeah.
Really?
Yes.
No,
Okay.
she's a bad girl.
Really, she's bad. Man, you know what? You always seem to get some very good actors, actresses, people circle, bring people around you that can really get the job done. Because
She's rare. She's very rare. I've met a lot of people, but she has a rare talent. And I told her, I said, look, there's some things I'm going to do with her, several things in the future, beyond the present of what we're doing to Set It Off, because she's a special talent. And I told her, we're doing the Destiny's Child story. And I was like, Tina knows. Like, the girl can blow. She's talented. She has crazy range. She can do comedy. She can do drama. No, she's a special talent, and she is right. We are taking theater to an entirely different level. And I want to level with you because black people have separated theater, right? There's been regional theater, and then there's been, at one point they called it the Chitlin Circuit theater,
Right.
and so forth. Well, this piece is taking me 20 years to grow a market into what this piece is culminating into. There's not going to be a such thing as regional and Chitlin. They're not going to even exist anymore. First of all, what's happening now is it's absorbing all the regional theater. This production is on the level of Broadway, and that's it. Anything, any production moving forward, there is no such thing as below where we are.
Right.
Like, we are at a place that we could compete for the Tonys right now.
Oh, that's awesome.
From a production value, from an execution, that's why I say it's special. So every person that has gone to whether it's main stage or main street or ensemble or whatever, come see this
Right.
and watch your total mind be blown that you have never seen a production by us, for us, done to this magnitude. It was set it off. It was a classic. I wasn't going to half-step on production in any capacity, nor the people that I hired. And you will see $1 million production up on that stage that's going to wow you from front to back. That I guarantee you.
Now, it's tonight.
It's tonight at 8 o'clock.
Okay.
Tomorrow at 3 o'clock and 8 o'clock.
Okay.
And Sunday at 3 o'clock.
Now, I understand there's some folks mad now in some other cities because they did not make the Jacarius Johnson cut.
They didn't make the cut.
Yet.
So this will be not, I don't think this is going up north. So if you're saying, well, I can miss it this weekend, but I just catch them when they go to Dallas.
No,
it's not even
you're not
going to Dallas.
You got 4 opportunities to see it. Tonight, well, we almost sold out tonight, so you got 3 opportunities to see it. You got 2 shows tomorrow, and you have 1 on Sunday, and that's it. Once we're gone, our schedule is booked to the end, so unfortunately, we can't even circle back.
And you and I were talking off air. We talked about the time we had to play, and it was so huge.
Yeah.
You had to bring it back.
Yeah.
And it was so funny because I had just interviewed you a few weeks ago, and then you coming right back to talk about it. Say, what did he just hear? I said, yeah, but they bringing it back, and they showed up and showed out.
And we did 3 shows on the Saturday. We did a 3-show Saturday and still had to come back and do it again. And I'm saying this piece is even better than that.
Wow.
It's even better than that. I'm very proud of it.
And you and I, we go back a ways from the old radio station.
Yeah.
So I'm just really happy for you, excited for you. Keep growing, keep growing. Also, Ms. McKinney, it's a pleasure to lay eyes on you and meet you. So how can they reach you social media-wise?
You guys can follow me at Demi McKinney on Twitter, at Demetria, the number 4 Real on Instagram, and everything else. And I would be remiss if I did not give a big shout out to my co-tribe people. You know, the Brat kills it as Cleo. Latoya Luckett, this is Houston's own Latoya Luckett,
right.
will be gracing the stage alongside me and my girl Kyla Pratt. So make sure that y'all come out, support. You will not be disappointed unless you ain't there. When
Latoya Luckett and the crew first came out with Destiny's Child, before they hit it big, I interviewed them right at the old radio station. So, man, this is your own. Jacarius Johnson, Latoya Luckett, and she's got some great friends with her to make your weekend fantastic. For more information about tickets, what can they do?
Just go to Jacarius.com. That's JECARYOUS.com. All my social media is at Jacarius. So once you got Jacarius,
this weekend, as you always do, and it's just great to have the support, and thank you for not forgetting about KTSU. You all your jets and helicopters, and you don't forget about us, and we appreciate you for coming aboard and talking with us about this great project.
Thank you, man. I appreciate the love and support. And Houston, I'm glad to be home. Can't wait to see y'all out.
He's home, so there's no excuse for you not to support one of your own. So because, like we talked about before, if you'd have missed Houston and took it somewhere else, why you didn't bring it to Houston? Man, you wrong for that. Yeah. But it's in Houston, so we need to support it, show up and show out. The play, set it off, the Brat, Demetria McKinney,
Kyla Pratt, and Latoya Luckett.
Oh man, it's going to be great. Who's playing the police officer?
Oh, you got to see that. You got to come see it. And they're good. They are very good, too.
So I'm not going to get a cheat sheet on that one, right?
No cliff notes, no none of that.
All right. Well, thank you so much. We'll be right back. KTSU, let's go.
police officers here.
Yeah.
Awesome. Awesome. Totally